My name is Yasemin. I am the interviewer person running Latinas in the City, and this is Kenny. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, everybody. My name is Kenny Jamaica. I am the founder of Dama Productions and the creator of Lipstick Lounge Chicago, because there's one in Nashville. Shout out the one in Nashville. We love that one.
Tennessee?
And you're so right. Wait, Nashville, Tennessee.
Nashville, Indiana would be a little wild, though.
I know. I know. Every time someone messages us, and they're like, "Do you know that there's one out there?" And I said, "Yes, we love them. Like, big ups to them." I also run a comedy show called Escándalo, which is a comedy show para la cultura. Shout out Latinos, and we are launching a one-day Latina music festival called Damaverse, Chicago's only Latina music festival, happening August 23rd of this year.
I saw some promotion of it earlier this week. Was when it was like announced?
Yeah. No, promotion is my favorite thing to do. It's something that I feel really natural about. So like we dropped the teaser, and I'm so grateful that the community is already getting tickets, because it's like one of the things that's very important to me is to keep things accessible, right? Because it's like you can throw these beautiful events. If no one's gonna be there, then no one's gonna be there. So like, we roll out the early birds and then little overtime. So anyways, all this to say, I digress. We're launching it, yeah.
Yeah. And for reference, I think I'm going to be publishing this a little bit later in
Cool.
June, just for promotion and stuff. But I believe we're recording today, June 6th.
Today's June 6th.
6th.
Yeah.
So it's been, I think, a week since Lipstick Lounge anniversary. Like, how have you been feeling with that?
I've been sitting in it. I have been starting a new tradition because I am trying to take better care of myself and not put myself on the back burner, because I feel like as an entrepreneur, you're like, let me be the best worker I can be, but I'm trying to switch it to let me be the best boss I can be. And so I have like a mandatory, the next day, all of my friends sleep over, we go get pancakes, chocolate chip or blueberries, depending. And then the day after that, I'm doing a brand new mani and pedi tradition. So to take care of myself. So I immediately jumped into the next Lipstick Lounge, but it was beautiful, and it was really awesome to see so many first timers there.
Yeah, that's such a really cute tradition to do after each one.
Yeah.
How many hours of sleep do you get just between like Lipstick Lounge and you get like 2 or 3, and then just pancakes in the morning?
Yeah, we get about like 5 hours. I don't really sleep that weekend. I don't really sleep that weekend. Yeah, I am just making it on pure adrenaline, and the lie that if I do it myself, it's free labor. And I'm really grateful that this year, randomly, I had my best friend say, "Hey, I'm about to walk by your house. Do you want your favorite latte?" And I said, "Okay." And then my other friend's like, "Hey, I know you're probably not eating today, so we're gonna send you some food." And so it was a gorgeous, awesome day, because that was the only meal that I had.
That was really sweet of them, though.
I know. Like, I think it's like a testament to that community, And then like being the eldest daughter, and like hyper independent, I don't always ask people for things. And so to like be at a place where like my friends are like, "Hey, we're just gonna send you this. Shush, we're sending you this." So
that's really nice.
That's really nice. Yeah.
Yeah, I have a twin, but they're like slightly older by 15 minutes. But like,
oh my gosh, I didn't know you were a twin.
Yeah. We're fraternal. But like, so I do still feel like the older sibling type of mentality, even if it's like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
But like, it's nice to feel like someone else is like looking out for you, or like doing like small gestures like that. That's really
absolutely
sweet. Also, how long have you been in Chicago? Have you been here your whole life, or did you move? I know we talked earlier about you. It sounds like you've been here a long time.
Yeah, born and raised in Chicago. I say Chicagoland area because you never know who's about to fight. So I was born in like Belmont Cragen area. Ironically enough, like right by Irving Park and Lakeshore Drive, 3200 West Lakeshore Drive, which is like still, so many of my friends live there now, which is crazy. But then we moved out by the west suburbs, by like Melrose Park, by O'Hare. So yeah, Chicagoland area, because they be really at it.
They will try and correct you immediately.
They will.
If they like smell that you're from a suburb.
Exactly. They're like, "That's not Chicago." I said, "Well, okay, Chicagoland area."
Yeah. And yeah, I'm from Indianapolis. I moved here about 2 years ago.
Okay.
In the fall. It's been really fun being here since then. But like, So, what got you interested in creating Lipstick Lounge? I know you've also said previously that like you had two other productions before this. Were they mainly in comedy, or were they pretty similar to Lipstick Lounge?
Yeah, so well, I was just we were talking about this a little earlier. I think like taking it all the way back, I've been in service industry for like 12 plus years, and so like the idea of like nightlife, events, and curation has always really stood out to me. And so I was like throwing events like in 2015. No one was coming, and then I kind of let it go, but I have been doing improv comedy, sketch comedy since 2018, and then I created my first show there, and then it just kind of like continue. But Lipstick Lounge came, and we were also talking about this. It's like there's desire to do something, and then there's momentum to do something. And so Lipstick Lounge was I was at the Annoyance Theater for like just chilling afterwards, and my friend goes, "Hey, they're looking to do a sapphic party here. You should hit them up." And I love a cold email. I will cold email. I will cold message. I don't care. I'm like, if you say yes, great. If you say no, whatever. So I messaged them, and I was like, "Hey, I heard you're looking for this. You mind if I give it a shot?" And like I know the Annoyance like the back of my hand because it was my first place I took comedy, first place I ever did a show, and so like I spent so much of my time there that I like. It has such a homey feel to it. It already has this like eccentric energy. Yeah. So all it was needing was someone to activate it the right way, to like utilize the crazy basement, to utilize like the high ceiling so we can hang shit up. And so it came just as like because I was already doing like a couple of other shows that people were noticing that like I was being called to the sapphic spaces. And so yeah, and it started, the actual date of its inception is June 7th, but we were closer to like the May 30th than June 26th, so we decided, and then that way we get to have a pride and a birthday party.
Oh my god, so we're recording this like pretty close to the actual anniversary of the being tomorrow.
Wait, gagged! Yeah, tomorrow, yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Also, how's it been like working with the Annoyance Theater? I was kind of curious like how you managed to collaborate with them, because like they do all their own different stuff, and it's like, how do you reach out to like a theater or like an event space already here and to be able to do something like on a monthly basis?
Absolutely. Well, I love that you asked that, because like I do an event production workshop where I specifically talk about how these theaters need you more than you need them.
Yeah.
Like they, when I had my first show at the Annoyance, I was maybe 3 months into comedy. And I was like, oh, well, I'm just going to submit something to see if they take it. And they picked it up within a week after that. So like here I am with 3 months of experience pitching, and then it got picked up a week afterwards. What does that tell me? That they are looking for content. They are looking for someone to come in and say, I'm going to do all the work to activate your space. Mm-hmm. And so I'm really grateful that Jen at the Annoyance, the owner of the Annoyance, like I have like a relatively like strong relationship with her. And she said, okay, let's see it. Like we don't really have much going on, and so she just kind of like let me do my thing. And it's been a year of just her having her trust in me, and I'm really grateful because our production does well, and I'm really, one of the things that also makes an event successful for me are my people making money. Like my vendors, my performers, my bartenders. And so that's like the full compass of like, this is something worth continuing to do. So yeah, cold email, y'all. They need you more than you need them.
Yeah. Surprisingly, they got back to you within like a week, and
dude,
like, we're ready for that then.
Yeah, they were ready, and I wasn't. So I was like, oh my god, I gotta make a poster, and I gotta find a team, and I literally was just submitting because I was like, maybe they'll get back to me in a couple months. And so I think like quite literally the main focus or the storyline of my Dama Productions is I just sent an email. It's like a cold pitch.
Like you can just start really easy with that.
In my workshop, I talk about how being resourceful keeps you fluid, while waiting to learn a skill keeps you rigid.
Yeah.
Right? Like there is always something you can do right now if you're really about it. And then if maybe that's not what's going on, then I like encourage that introspection to be like, okay, it wasn't this barrier in my way. Do I really want to do this?
Yeah. And so when you said you were trying to like recruit other people for it, what were some other people that you included in your team or like needed positions to fill for this to happen?
Oh, okay. So I was recruiting people for the first show that I did at the Annoyance, which was in 2016.
Okay.
So that was like my comedian friends, and that first show was just that I wanted Latinas on stage, and so I just I asked some of like these women that were so talented in my group. So that was how we started there. But Lipstick Lounge, I want to say for the first 6 months, it was all me. And like I do like the graphics, the booking, the promotion, the teardown, the setup, and so it was just kind of like me. And of course, I would like bring on people to work the night of, which was also like such a cool experience because that was the first time in like Dama production career that I was able to, you know, work or just like have people like that I'm able to pay every night. But yeah, I'm really grateful. Now I have a wonderful crew. Isa Jimenez, PJ, and Lorena Esteves. They are my go-to trio of Latinas that we get it done. So predominantly, I want to say our Lipstick Lounge night of cast is always like 90% Latina. And then BIPOC or queer, the other. Yeah.
What made you want to specifically make a space that was very Latina focused? Did you feel like there wasn't enough like in Chicago that really fit what you wanted to make? Or?
And I always say I'm never trying to reinvent the wheel. Like when I had a show at Dorothy, I pitched them again like just a Latina variety show. It wasn't like this gimmicky, nothing like that. I was like, there just simply needs to be a space where like you guys have Latinas here. Same thing with The Annoyance and same thing with Escándalo. Like there wasn't any Latina representation, and I want to say that, like, it has been a journey with my Latinidad, right? I'm fully Latina. Like, I was born here, so I'm Latina American, but both of my parents are Mexican. And there was this, like, you're not Latina enough, but then, you know, like, you're obviously, like, not white. And so it was just kind of this back and forth that I felt in my Latinidad and I felt in my queerness. That I'm just like, oh, okay, like, well, where do I belong? And so, like, I think, like, now that I have been at this a couple years now, I'm like, I hold space for like the millennial Latina experience, the millennial queer Latina experience. This like, for example, like the Mexican in me is like, why are you sleeping? Why are you relaxing? Why are you watching TV? Like you have shit to do. But then the American in me is like, oh, but I'm tired and I want to relax. And so like that is just something that I know that I'm not the only one juggling. Or like, would I want to make my family happy or do I want to live my truth? Right? Like this is just something that I feel like is a unique experience that like I want people to feel seen in my events. Like for example, there's on TikTok a lot of like millennial Latino DJs are mixing Y2K remixes with like traditional cumbia or Mexican music.
That sounds really good.
Dude, and to fucking hear it, I'm like, I'm the target audience for this. And so to be able to feel seen in that way, like that's what I want these events to make other people feel like. Like I get that reference and I also like really relate to the way she says it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It sounds like music that would be great for like second generation like
yes.
people that are in the US.
Totally. And also like, you know, for example, everybody on Escándalo, which is my comedy team, there's 20 of us. I want to say that all of us are millennials, but all of us have just like a slight disconnection to our Latinidad that it's been so beautiful like over the years to see like whether it come out in music or in dance or in a scene or art to like have that register on their face that they're like, oh, I know what that means, or like, yeah, I think I can say that. And so like I also really like champion this immersive experience because when you're immersed in art, when you're immersed in a party or in a community, you're no longer doubting yourself, and like you're aware that like your queerness lives inside of you. That Spanish that maybe you don't have the word for lives inside of you. And so I like to get people back into their body so that they can access these things that feel so distant to them.
100%. And like creating that community and like meeting a lot of people that are very similar in experience, maybe like you were growing up with and it felt like isolating, is really great. Like I had a very similar thing because I'm also second generation. My dad is Turkish and immigrated to the US from Turkey, although he was born in Canada. There was a lot of moving around. But like feeling a disconnect with like the initial culture, especially like for me personally, I wasn't taught Turkish, especially like post 9/11. There was kind of a hindrance of like wanting to teach your kids like Arabic or Turkish
to keep y'all safe.
And to try and give us like good opportunities here, but like language is such a connecting factor for a lot of people, so having that disconnect and then being second gen
it feels isolating.
100%.
Yeah.
So like creating that community and finding people, I was very thankful to find a Turkish community in Indianapolis when I initially lived there. My family grew up with them. I had a couple other people my age that were like second gen and feeling that identity. And I'm still close to some of those people today.
Yeah.
Like, I have one friend that's still in Indianapolis that, like, we constantly hang out when I go back there.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to find a little bit of that here in Chicago. There is a Turkish American association that's here, but, like, a lot of older folks, a lot of, like, people that immigrated here. So it's definitely something different from the experience.
Right. There needs to be, like, a bridge of the gap right there.
100%. But it's amazing you've been able to create that community and space for yourself.
Yeah. No, totally. And I think, oh, shit, I literally was just thinking about this as you said it. You said Turkish community. Right. Like, like I said, I was born here, and my only experience to my culture was what my mom taught me. You know, if we go to Mexico, it's like I got to see my whole family. But I never had a personal connection to my Latinidad.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until I was in my 20s when I started my first comedy team, when I personally saw it out, did it become mine. Right? So the same way for you, it's like, obviously your family is Turkish, so you're always going to have that base. But now that you are actively seeking it out, that's yours, regardless of your parents, regardless of your upbringing, like that, because that is your personal connection as an adult.
Yeah.
Like, so there's something really beautiful about that, right? It's like, sometimes we feel like, and I always say, I'm like, speak Spanish with your friends, like speak Turkish with your friends, because if we only leave it to our family, then it stays exclusive to this relationship.
Yeah, especially into adulthood, if you have the experience of moving out of your family's place and now you're just kind of on your own.
Yeah.
Like, again, that association that I grew up with, I was surrounded by Turkish people growing up, but with going to college in a different town and now, like, being an adult and living in a different city, like, I'm not immediately surrounded by Turkish people. I have to create that space for myself if I want it.
Right. I'm so curious about that. I'm sure that there are communities out there. Now, definitely, I'm just going to post on my story. I'm like, Turkish community, where y'all at? I mean, because, like, you know.
2 people respond.
No,
like
dude.
That.
Like, it's actually so cool. Like, my friend, he's Peruvian, and he champions the Peruvian community. Yeah. And, like, I swear to God, anytime I find anybody's Peruvian, I always, like, share the page. And then he includes them into, like, this chat.
Yeah.
And they'll do, like, barbecues. They'll do, like, runs. And so, like, there are people here that understand that the real power, like, is in community. For example, like, I realized that the phrase "I want to change the world" is a trap for me, because, like, it's kind of like a boat that has holes in it, and you're, like, doing all of your time and energy with a bucket to get the water out, right? I'm real interested in the community change.
Yeah.
I'm interested in how can I make a difference for 2, 3, 4 people that then will do a domino effect in their community. Yeah. That seems like something that feels like doable, and for my mental health, like, and so I think that there's something so important when people recognize that it starts in how we treat each other and including each other. Because, like, we were talking earlier that it's like, when you operate from a place of abundance, like, the universe will give it back to you. I'm always complimenting people. Like, I have one right now. I have these little cards that I give out for Lipstick Lounge. And they're I like your vibe cards. And so I literally...
Wait, this is such a fun way to be able to advertise.
I give these to people on the street, and then I only do, like, up, and then they turn it around, and then they're like, oh my God, free entrance to Lipstick Lounge. And so this is like an extension of like just how I am, because I'm like, oh my God, fabulous shoes. I'm like, oh my God, you look amazing. Mm-hmm. Because people, especially in the recession core that we're in right now, the hemlines are getting longer. People want to, like, not stand out. So when someone takes a risk and wears a color or, like, a really cool shirt, let them know. Let them know that they are doing a good job. And so, like, to have this just be, like, what I like to do, like, it's just, I don't know, it's just, there's something just effortless about it. Oh, sorry, I was, like, going on a tangent. My friend was like... My friend was like, damn, I wish I was more like you. And I was like, no. Everybody thinks nice things. The muscle is saying it out loud. That's where you can practice. Yeah. Everyone thinks, oh my God, I love her shirt, I love this. But now we just have to, like, actually say it out loud. You know? And then it becomes easier over time. And then you're that person that's operating in abundance.
Yeah. You have to be who you're aspiring to.
Period.
If you're wanting something, you need to keep building it up. And then it will feel authentic when you are in practice of it.
Exactly.
No, I love I like your vibe cards. It almost, it gives, like, You know those like fake $100 bills on the back? It's
Yeah.
It's like, oh, compliment lipstick.
Exactly. Well, honestly, like
love.
we're talking about how like I want my experiences to be like bang for your buck. I want you to
Yeah.
leave with something that you didn't think you would. So here you are getting a compliment, thinking like, wow, this made my day, and now you got a free entry.
Yeah.
So it's been really cool to like get creative in new ways, right? Like I'm a graphic designer. I like to dress nice, but now when it's come to the marketing of things, it's like such a cool different way to be creative. So yeah, it's cool. I really enjoy it.
No, it's a really fun way. I love the card and just being able to like compliment people that are on the streets that are in like interesting fashion and stuff like that. Because especially for like feminine presenting people, it's very easy to feel like don't wear bright colors, don't show yourself,
Don't stand out.
Yeah, don't stand out, especially in like both the recession and just like being surrounded by a lot of people, being in crowded spaces and feeling like it's a necessity for safety.
Yeah.
So like going in like really risky outfits, or like bright colors, like you're nervous for a lot of different things, but just hearing someone compliment you and like
you.
Yeah. Like I love going out and like wearing a lot of makeup or wearing very fun outfits and like getting a little compliment on the street from like people that look really cool.
Yeah, and sometimes it's so fun to do it stealthy like. So like I usually give them to people like on my way out or somewhere, so I'll just be walking on the street and I immediately get it out because I see someone really cool walking, and then I just give it to them and walk away, so they're like, oh, thanks. And it's just like this quick little passing, right? Because I think also too, the art of giving someone a compliment is not always making it about yourself.
100%.
Right? So now you have this and I'm gone. So now you have the sentiment without me being like, yeah, like let's, because I think that's also just so important, right?
Yeah.
Also, as women, it's like we get compliments, but they come with baggage.
They come with suddenly having a need to make a connection, having a need to make a conversation.
Yeah.
And some people would love that. You're an amazing like person or interesting. I'm sure a lot of people that get compliments want to know further about you.
Yes. But let that be on their own terms.
100%.
And now with the back, because of the QR code, you can look it up at your own leisure.
Yeah. Like if I'm on the CTA, I don't want to talk to a lot of
people.
But if someone's giving me a card and now I'm on the train for a few more minutes, I might as well look it up. Look a little further in.
Yeah. And it's so sweet because I get some people that message me on Instagram and they're like, hey, I got one of these cards. Is it okay if like I put like little expirations on them, but I was like, dude, like, of course I want you to come, like.
Yeah.
And it's just like such an effortless way because not everybody has social media, right? Not everyone's like super active. Not everybody, if they're a baby gay or if they're not even queer at all, like they would never really find out about these spaces. Mm-hmm. But a compliment is universal.
100%.
Yeah.
And with making these spaces, I also know like, well, first off, I feel like at most of your monthly events, you have like 2 performances at each event.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Usually with people that are a part of the sex industry in Chicago, how did you connect that into Lipstick Lounge, or what made you really interested in doing that?
Oh, with like the sex workers?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Well, first of all, they're so hot and gorgeous and amazing and talented and hustlers and hardworking. So the Sapphic Strip Club, which is this organization, this event ran by Cat Savage and Dream Doll. They are 2 sex worker pole dancers, incredible pole dancers, incredible organizers, and I met them at our Sapphic collective meeting, which was started by Eden from Garden of. So shout out Eden for introducing us. But I met them there. I was like, hey, I would love to have you. But I think like now that I've been doing Lipstick Lounge for a year, as you probably can tell, like I try to curate as much as I can there. And the one things that I feel very proud of are our performances.
Yeah.
Like our performances will never be just drag. Like, and I believe because drag is such a beautiful art form, but it is mainstream, right? Like sapphics will see drag and be like, this is the extent of the performances to see at a party when there's burlesque, when there's pole dancing. And so by introducing our community to these events, like, because realistically speaking, like to my sapphics, like, when are y'all gonna go to a strip club? Probably never. When are y'all gonna go out of your way to go to a burlesque event? Maybe once in a while. But like you really have to seek out those spaces instead of them just being accessible to you.
Yeah, and especially like maybe the fear of going into those spaces and not feeling like they're for you.
Exactly.
But being reminded that also many of these performers are themselves queer women.
Yeah.
And I think one of the events, I think 2 or 3 months ago, me and my friend Michelle were like outside, just like hanging out and talking to people that were just smoking and chilling, and we ended up just talking to 4 of the strippers there.
Yeah.
And it was so nice. And just hearing that they were excited to be at these events themselves, queer women, and being able to perform for queer women,
literally,
is a refreshing thing, I am sure, for them.
Yeah.
And like, the performances are amazing. The pole dancing is very impressive whenever I just see it. I'm so excited to see each of the performances every time I go. And being reminded that, like, there are different events, different performances other than just drag.
Yep.
Drag is amazing and very fun.
Yeah, beautiful.
But it's interesting to spice it up, especially with there being, like, 2 performances every month.
Yeah. So it's just like so effortless at this point. Like I really appreciate like people reaching out and wanting to do like takeovers of the stage. But at this point, like it is, I feel like in my comedy show, like when I was doing the Dorothy show, now when I'm watching this music festival, like it's always a variety show. Why? Because I'm more interested in engaging more people than I am to like serve one size fits all. That's just not going to work for people. Like we were just talking about how like introverts versus extroverts, how they operate a little bit differently or seek comfort in different ways. You know, like obviously like there's like this appreciation for drag, but I'll never forget like the first time that I saw like a sapphic strip club, and I was like, I will never be the same. To be in a room, I've gone to strip clubs like when I was in my 20s, but like to be in a room with all women, literally like 200 women, and we're each hooting and hollering and we're making it rain on these like super talented women, like and then to add in the burlesque of it all, which is like burlesque is like such an art form that is like, you know, dating back, and it's the art of seduction, right? And so like now to like present women with different performances, drag that is very like vibrant and like theatrical, burlesque which is seductive and slower, to pole dancing and like living in your body. Like I want women to pull from all 3 of these and to have appreciation, because one of my favorite things is being a woman. I love being a woman. Like there's something so effortless and beautiful and like strong about us, so that to just have a complete immersive experience, it makes sense. And Dama Productions, my middle name is Damaris, and so like Dama is out of that, but Dama in Spanish means women.
I was about to ask if that meant anything.
Yeah, it means women. Yeah. So like it also just like it's like a double whammy for me.
Women Productions.
Literally, yeah, exactly.
That's really fun. And like, so with Dama, you do a lot of comedy shows, stuff like that. What would you say describes like Dama Productions as a whole then?
Yeah, immersive red carpet experiences for Latinas, queer women, sapphics, and just women in general. Yeah. Like I say red carpet because I want y'all to feel like the moment you step in the door, and even when I host the show, I have everybody do like a collective breath of like, whatever we got going on outside, for the next 60 minutes, you're here, enjoy yourself. If we think something is funny, we're going to laugh. If you think someone's very talented, you're going to compliment them. And sometimes like I feel like post-pandemic, we just need a little bit of a reminder to be like, how do I operate in these spaces? And so hosting is honestly my favorite form of performing. I love to host because the host's job is literally to make sure you know what's happening in the show and to connect with the audience. Everything else will work itself out.
And it seems like a really great way to connect and just remind people, because that reminder just, honestly, it can be the biggest thing.
Yo.
What would you say is like really important when like people are new to like Lipstick Lounge or like going into those events?
Yeah.
If they're like a little more timid or like just a little hesitant.
Totally. Every pre-shift I have with my team, number one thing, I'm like compliment my girls coming in. Mm-hmm. Because like the biggest ethos that I have at Dama Productions is people remember how you make them feel. And so even if the party was stinky, even if the music sucked, like if you're greeted well or if you're greeted badly, you're going to remember that as the whole party. So I want the experience from the moment you walk in to be like compliments. And then that way you see it on the screens. We have like these projections that are like very sexy, very like kissing, very like nude, but then the wording is like take care of each other, buy each other drinks, like tell her she looks beautiful, like community over competition. And so like it is in your face, it is subliminal, and then it's also in the way that I have our hosts for our drag performances welcome the crowd. Let's go over some 101s so that you are best set up for success to be able to fully enjoy this. Because you know, the society kind of makes us feel like there's right way to do things. And so like, well, I didn't know. Well, how I would do better next time. Don't worry. Like the fact is you are there. You are putting yourself in a community, in a space that maybe it wasn't there. It wasn't in your life before. So like just doing that, you're already on the right track. And just give yourself grace that it might not be perfect the first time, but over time, you'll like untense your shoulders.
Yeah.
You'll feel like it's yours.
It'll get more comfortable with just the repetition of it.
Exactly.
Especially with it being like a monthly thing, there is a repetition.
Exactly. You know what to expect.
Yeah.
You're like you said, like you have your friends come over, let's figure out what our outfits is. Like it becomes this ritual of like I want it to feel like the monthly girl sleepover party that everybody gets really excited for.
100%. And like this anniversary party, it was me and one friend going, and then we met up with like 4 or 5 other friends. So it was like 6 or 7 people just moving around together, and it was such a fun thing.
Yeah.
And also like how, with you saying the fashion and stuff like that, how do you figure out the theme for each month? And because it seems really fun to like express style and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I know even you post to like help people get an idea.
Oh yeah.
With, like,
a little
ways.
lookbook.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I Lipstick Lounge is literally all of my productions are an extension of me, right? So like Escándalo was there because I needed to work through my relationship with my Latinidad. Chisme, which was the second production, came because I needed to work with feeling like I deserved to be in queer spaces. And then Lipstick Lounge came because I wanted to be around women, like just have that curated. And so the looks are always an extension of what my trend is, right? So like at the beginning of the year, I was really into wigs, so we made a wig party. During February, I was really into ties, so we made a corporate party. So they're just honestly aligned with whatever I'm in, whatever trend that I'm in that moment.
That's really fun.
Yeah, and so it's just, I don't know, I personally love to dress. I think fashion is an incredible way to be creative, and also like I love when people curate things. I'm like, oh my God, your nail polish is matching your shoelaces and your hair tie is matching your nails. Like, that shows me that you have intention and that you're trying and that, like, this matters to you, and that translates to other aspects of people's life. And so by, like, providing this space where, like, you're going to try a little something new, like, my goal is that every party you find something that you like, whether it be like, wow, I guess I really do like to wear fishnets, or like, yeah, I guess I do like to wear ties. Like, now your style has evolved a little bit, and that's what I want. There's a difference between fashion and style. Fashion is what you go and like the influencers tell us it's fashionable. Style is something that you over time decide what you like about how you like to have fun through your clothes.
It's curated, it's experimental, and it's hopefully for each person individual to themselves.
Literally.
Or like they just find what they're comfortable with, find what colors enjoy.
Yeah.
It's really good to experiment and push with these themes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, the anniversary party was 7 Deadly Sins.
7 Deadly Sins, yeah.
And like your lookbook was like very focused on kind of colors representing them.
Monochromatics.
I don't really recall, what was your outfit? Did you pick like one of the sins?
Yeah, so I came out, well, first of all, I've been looking at pictures over like the last couple lipstick lounges, and I love having my tits out. I love being in minimal clothes like at Lipstick Lounge. There is something so fierce, so powerful about it. And so like I put on a gold bikini and a gold fit, so I was greed. I started off with greed.
That's nice.
Yeah, and then to close it out, I had on like a red dress, and so I went with like a lust to it. So yeah, it's like, I don't know, it's just something so freeing, and like I also want to lead by example. You know, like here I am asking my goers to try this new stuff and wear experimental stuff, so I like to do it. I like to go really out there so that hopefully over time y'all see like, oh, well, even the organizer really commits, so let me commit, right? Because it's like a domino effect. When you see other people like really going in, you're like, no, I kind of want to do it too.
100%, because it's so intimidating. The scariest thing I feel like is going to an event where you see a theme prior, you go to it, no one's doing
it, bro. I know.
So as like the person running it, best lead by example with
yes,
this
dude. And I think like also too, like the more people dress up, the more immersive this feels.
Yeah.
And I think like that's worth shouting out, right? And so I also am the same way that we talked about baby gays, right? And how baby gays need to just be there and watch. Like if this is your first party, you're probably going to come dressed down because you don't want to stand out. And so it's really beautiful that over time, like we see more and more people really dressing up because they're like, no, I want to be a part of this. I want to play. That's what it is. Let's play.
100%.
Yeah.
And like going into sapphic spaces, like there's so much style and everyone gets so different or expressive with it, and it's really fun. And I feel like it is definitely different than a lot of like heterosexual spaces where it's like you see very like repetitive outfits maybe, or just trying to fit what to expect.
Yeah, no, totally. And I think like the bigger the risk, and also I'm very grateful because like, you know, I'm 33 and I've been in this community in Chicago, nightlife community, not just sapphic community. And like I told you, like Lipstick Lounge is an homage to Berlin and Smart Bar, and those two parties, those two places, like people were really going for it. I learned so much from drag queens. Like I learned so much from like elder queers that are like, you know, living in their power, and like made me buy 7-inch heels to wear to a party I could barely dance in, but like just wearing them was a form of expression that I feel like now that I'm in my 30s, that I'm like, that is my North Star. Like I did a workbook, like little task at the beginning of the year, and it was like this word bank of 40 words of like point of views, morals, like lifestyle choices, and it had you circle 3 of them so that by seeing them you're like, okay, these are my pillars. And my number 1 was authenticity. Like I think that is like what drives me, and if I can't be that, or if that doesn't align with me, then it's simply not a project for me.
Yeah.
You know? And so I think that being said, like, I am an overdresser. I'm going to wear colors. My tits are going to be out. Like, I'm going to be loud. I'm going to wear, like, hot pink. And that's just because it's my life, you know? Like, there's this, you know, the older you get, it's like, damn, like, why was I shrinking myself for so many years? And so that's what I want. That's what I want for people to feel like when they come in, that, like, not only do you have permission, like, hit it, you know?
And you gotta ask yourself, like, at what point are you allowed to experience these things? Are you allowed to dress this way?
Yeah.
And it's like, when you get comfortable with it, it is right now. It is whenever you feel like.
Yeah.
But if you keep pushing it off, you're never gonna get there.
Dude, literally, I saw this fucking TikTok talking about this lady who had this like pair of brand new sneakers that she's been waiting for the perfect moment to wear, and after 3 years she wore them and they deteriorated on her because I guess like rubber rot is a thing. And you saw maybe?
I saw someone do that with their platform, like Converses,
right?
Where they just deteriorated.
Exactly, because like if you don't use it, you lose it.
Yeah.
And so like there was a switch that happened to me maybe when I was like 25, where I was like, if I wait for special occasions to wear my clothes, I'm never gonna wear them. And so like that was the year that I really got into thrifting. Mm-hmm. I was wearing all types of shit. Like I wore so many like funky 90s blouses that summer. But the point is to like try, and like that's how you find your style, you know, over by trying so many different things that you're like, no, this one resonates with me.
Yeah. And it's great to look back on the different styles you have during periods, because like,
oh my god, yeah,
even a couple years ago I was like butcher, like masculine presenting, and so like looking back at these outfits, I had so many vests. I still have a lot of them, but they're like fun beaded vests, stuff like that. It's like when I did present butcher, like masculine, it was like Howl's Moving Castle type.
Yeah.
It was just like kind of like a little bit of femininity to it, or like just textures or fabrics.
Oh yeah.
And I love looking back at a lot of that stuff, and I still have the clothes, and it's like I might dip into it at some point.
I feel that like yeah. I'm a hoarder sometimes, yeah. And I always like joke around where it's like I use like one piece of scrap that I haven't used in like 7 years, and I'm like, hoarders are up today. But you never know when things come back in style, you know. And like I think like I'm a very like a crazy blouse and muted pants type of gal, and so you never know. So I think like keep them, rewear them, and everything comes in styles. Like everything is literally a phase or a season in your life. And so whether you're in a very tough season or a phase right now, don't lose hope. And because I'm the same way, where like you think like this is just the way my life is, great, this is it. No, this is just this phase of your life. And like if you really don't want to be in it, learn what is keeping you there, and then like work towards that.
Yeah. In the very least, if you're hoarding all your clothes, it'll work with some theme at some point.
Eventually, dude. Yeah.
And do you have any plans with going on in the future with Lipstick Lounge, since it passing the 1-year anniversary? Do you have any fun plans for this next year or even further in the future?
Yeah, so I am a triple fire sign, and I sometimes want to get a forehead tattoo that says I have everything I need right now, because my trap last year was thinking that I needed everything to grow exponentially at all times, When in reality, I want to allow myself grace and take care of myself to exponentially grow and then refine, and then grow and then refine. And so this like next couple of months is about refining. Like we have a beautiful model. Now what I would like to do is empower my team to like be, if anything were to ever happen to me, that it still lives on, right? And so that's what my goal is for this year, is to still keep it, fun, light, and to showcase the talent that we have here in Chicago, and just to like more than anything, I don't want to burn bright. I want to have this be a consistent space for newer generations, for my older generations. Like that's the beautiful thing about it, is when you start to see like a couple of like the older queers that like, the older queer mentality is like big dog only, right? Like I'm the biggest, I'm the baddest, like when in reality I feel like the younger generation is very much like no, like all of us. And so like I want it to be healing always, and to just be something that lives. And so the same cool trends, the same cool like lineups and styles, and I think we'll do like a couple of different activations, but yeah, I'm also excited because I feel like it's time to really get some bigger eyes on us, because I feel like as of right now, there's nothing really that exists like us at the moment.
Yeah. Do you feel like there's a lot of different generations that come to these parties?
More and more. Yeah, I feel like more and more. I feel like at the beginning it was like, obviously my alts and my younger alts. And then it went, it went really young for a little bit, like with the 21s and like the 25-year-olds. But then over time, like my older queer Latinas have been coming out, which is really sweet. Because I think like more than anything, I don't have kids, right? I don't plan on having kids. And so the idea of elder queers really is important to me. And so you don't have to be like in your 40s, 50s, whatever, to be an elder queer. Like me in my 30s, someone in their late 20s, like that still counts you as someone that is able to like pass on that information and keep each other safe. Yeah. And so I just want to like instill that in each other, that it's like, I'll never forget like one lipstick lounge, like our internet wasn't working in the basement and people couldn't pay for their coats, and my people told me that so many people paid for each other's coats.
That's really sweet.
Yes, dude. Or like I'm always hearing compliments, and so you know what I mean? Like it's like this 1 time a month, 4 hours, 1 time a month where you can just come and like put in and get back exactly what you put in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like something that's really unique also with like the queer community in general is, even if you are like of an older generation or younger, you can always realize you're queer later on and just be a baby gay at a much older age.
Yo.
Like that's an experience that like, it's so hard to be able to just assume like if you're older or younger that you just have always known or like have been comfortable in this community. But like for a lot of people, it varies, which is really exciting. I
appreciate you bringing that up, because like we were chatting before, like I am not a gold star lesbian. I am not like lesbian my whole life. I am pansexual for my Spanish girlies. But I call myself a preteen queer because like I had my first relationship like within 5 years, and I'm still learning, right? But like it calls to me because exactly that, like that's why I hold space for my baby gays or my bisexual women with boyfriends, because like there's this black and white thinking to like a queerness that has infinite names, right? But it's still black and white, and like there's this erasure that happens with my bi girls or my pan girls, when in reality it's like I feel like I'm pan, and I feel like the true essence of pan is like finding love and security and connection with an individual that makes you feel seen, right? Regardless of the gender or how they present themselves. And so it is important for me to always hold space for that, because how will we ever learn? How will we be? Because if you don't ever go to a queer party, then your only examples are like orange is the new black or like the L word. You know what I mean? And like those are not necessarily, while they're like iconic things, that's not the experience that we'll all have. And so I think like there is something really beautiful about having a sapphic party, and me not like championing being a lesbian or like or a gold star queer person. Like no, like I'm simply creating spaces to see people when I didn't feel seen.
Yeah. Like having your experiences with queerness or like sexuality be just through like media or online presence, you don't realize how much of a disconnect that can be when meeting people in real life and just saying there's so much varied experiences from perspective, which it's so great to see. Like a lot of different perspectives, because like I myself identify as a lesbian, and I feel like I've known for a very long time. More than a decade, I think I've been out as a lesbian, which is exciting. But also, like, in that, I've had very little serious relationships or, like, long-term relationships, so I still, in some ways, feel like I can be a baby gay in that regard.
Yep.
But, like, everyone is so varied, and it's really exciting. Like, again, I think I talked about my one friend earlier that I've been going to, like, lipstick lounge events with. She recently got out of a relationship, and, like, she's now kind of in her own baby gay state where she's able to now experience maybe, like, dating women or just doing things that are more queer compared to, like, her cis guys she was dating previously.
Totally. Well, it's the intimacy. That is
so valid.
Absolutely
valid.
valid.
She wants to experience more than that, and she's very excited to be in that stage right now.
Yeah, I think, like, the things that the queer experience that is missing from media is the intimacy of it all, right?
Yes.
Like, we are shown the sexualization, we are shown the horniness, we're shown all that, but the intimacy is hard to find because, for example, if you share that you're a bisexual woman or pan woman, all of a sudden it's like, actually, we're not compatible. Okay, heard. How are we supposed to develop this intimacy with our counterparts if we're immediately being shut off, right? And so then, by that experience, which I've also had in the past, by being told that I'm doing it wrong, now I retract into myself. Yeah. Now I'm like, shit, was this even the right choice? Like, maybe I'm not queer. Like, and so we don't understand how like black and white thinking like this is so hurtful, you know? And so I think, like, I don't know, I'm someone that is very much like everything is situational. Let's apply this critical thinking skills, right? Like, we can't fault women for, like, you know, if they grew up in a small town and they didn't have the privilege or the comfort to, like, fully express themselves, and then they come to Chicago thinking they finally made it, and then they're like, you know, like, that's not fair. And I it's funny that I say fair because I always say being adult and being like, that's not fair is like a crazy thing to say because in what world are you living in? But I think going back to what I'm saying, I'm like, I'm not trying to change the world. I'm just trying to, like, have these, like, moments of, like, this I know will make an impact.
Yeah.
And that's, like,
these
matters.
Really positive moments.
Yes,
and
dude.
With these, like, black and white assumptions, it's like, again, you're not helping anyone. You're not helping yourself. You're not helping others. There's no connecting or openness with it.
Absolutely. Because you think you're doing it to keep yourself safe, when in reality, like, you have no idea what that connection would have done. And the concept that you are done learning about queerness or yourself, that keeps you on an island.
Like, the butterfly effect that you could have had when, like, connecting to this person never is now happening.
Exactly.
And it's just holding yourself in such a negative space. And that's not any type of service to anybody.
No, totally. And I think it also, you know, that's why we talk about the word sapphic, right? Sapphic is just expressing that you have an attraction to a woman. Whether you're in a relationship with a man, whether you're married, like, whether you've never been with a woman before, like, if the attraction exists, you are a sapphic.
Yeah.
Which is wonderful.
It's a really good umbrella term that I've been seeing pop up with, like, a lot of the, like, queer women spaces that are in Chicago. And, like, I know there's discourse online and stuff like that.
Girl,
and I feel so disconnected from, like, what actually happens again. But it's like, at the end of the day, if you just tried calling everything lesbian, where is the space then for people that are bi, that are pan, that are just outside of that?
Exactly.
But having the word sapphic, it makes a difference to those people that want to feel included or would second guess going to those events.
Totally. And I think, like, I appreciate an umbrella term, right? Same thing with the word queer. Queer is like saying yes, gay, but then also without having to, like, give someone the skinny of your relationship or your attraction. Like, so I just appreciate these umbrella terms because you are answering a question, you are relaying, but if people really have a desire to get to know you, that requires a follow-up conversation. 100%. Versus, like, saying, like, I'm gay, I'm lesbian, and they're like, okay, I know what the vibe is. Like, get to know me. Like, so it is very important to me to just to use the words in the intent that they were made to be used.
Yeah. With hopefully no assumption with it and, like, having these very, like, accessible words. Trying to think of anything.
I like when we were talking about the collectives of the sapphics in Chicago. I'm really grateful that in this era of sapphic collectives, which I'm relatively new to, Grateful for Eden from Garden of, because she made this group chat with all of us so we can just meet and just chat and like hear how we can support each other. And so even though like we're not always like the goal is to collaborate as much as we can, but we are fucking busy. But it's really wonderful to at least have a space where we can share ticket opinion or ticket advice. We can ask about how are you guys handling this? And so I'm grateful that at least like, you know, we're in communication with each other and we're doing our best. Like Kat Savage and Dream Doll from Sapphic Strip Club, they made a calendar for Pride Month to where all the events are. You know what I mean? And so it sends that message that like if the organizers are working with each other, then like let our communities.
Yeah.
You know, and like we also chatted about how like even if you start with one collective, like my goal is that, or my dream for you is that you then explore what else Chicago has to offer, right? Like we talked about how like the Sluts Party is a wonderful party for you to like just be your full self, dress in that like latexy thing that you have been dying to wear. Boom. Or like you go to the Garden of Collectives when you want to do a craft night, when you want to get to meet people and not necessarily party. They do a wonderful job of that. They also have one of the only free accessible spaces in Chicago. And so shout out Eden. She's like working 80-hour weeks. You have Jenny Fox and Barry Perry, who are the Latina sapphics, right? You have me whenever you want to dance like Latino music, but then also like in the front is always Y2K. And so, you know, you have these look parties, you have Starlight Sapphic that are doing things on the south side. You just have all of these collectives that are really trying their best to create events and to make each other feel seen. And so like what a beautiful time in Chicago that we're living in.
100%. And it feeling so connective and very like quick into it. Like I feel like, I mean, I've only lived here for 2 years, but it feels like it's been happening during these 2 years I've been here, where it's just been so quick and supportive and finding these spaces and hearing from the community like what people are wanting, and finding all these great like curated events and spaces.
Totally, it is so beautiful. I also would love to remind and encourage anybody that if you, for example, I obviously host a Latina party, right? In the back room I have perreo, which is reggaeton, blah blah blah. Now if you are coming to these parties and you're like, I only want to listen to Young Miko, who is a very famous Latina like rapper, and I only want to listen to these two artists, how come you're not playing more of that? I encourage you to make that event. Because we are not only doing our best as organizers to like have people seen in XYZ, but it is also like to our own discretion of how we want to stylize things.
Yeah.
And so like, you know, I know that like some of the collectives here in Chicago get a lot of flack from the community because they're like, well, you're doing accessibility, but you're not doing it right. Or you're like providing care, but you're not doing it right. Like at the end of the day, we are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people. And so like, I never want to discourage the community from creating something that you see missing, because that is exactly how we all got started.
100%. And like, I think that's one of the reasons also I was very interested in making this podcast, was to like interview and talk to people that are in the city and make it so that people that are a part of the community are more understanding as to how these events are made, how they started, and maybe even learn like how to create their own if they feel like there is something that there's an opening for in Chicago, or they just want to make their own space.
Absolutely. A piece of advice that I give in one of my workshops is like, if you are really about like wanting to make an event right now, Google restaurants or places that just opened up in the last 5 weeks. You'll get a list. They need you more than you need them. So if you really want an event and you don't have a venue, look up where it just opened up and then send them a pitch. They will gladly take you. So, you know, like exactly that. If you want to have a night that's just like straight reggaeton all night, please do it. But like, I care a lot about what I do at Lipstick Lounge, and I know that I hold space, but it's at the end of the day like my vision and my art in doing it. So I'm always down to like hear how we can improve things, but if it's a stylization issue, make it yourself.
Yeah, no, that's really good advice. Looking at like new places or venues that are opening up, because it's then a mutual like relationship and connection with that place.
Yeah,
like the Annoyance Theater seems like it's so synonymous with Lipstick Lounge. And
low key, yeah.
I really love how that space has been used for Lipstick Lounge, and just like the different rooms with like the one room with like the vendors, the tattoo artists, the people that style hair, the coloring area, they're just two separate like DJ areas with one of them turning into the performance area.
Yeah.
I think that's like one of my favorite parts of Lipstick Lounge is it's so huge.
Right.
There's just different places to go to if you're feeling different things.
Exactly. No, totally. And I feel like something that's really special too is like obviously like you had mentioned that it's like sometimes it's marketed as a Latina party, but then you still feel comfortable and seen there. And that's like the beautiful thing, right? It's like, there's a lot of like non-Latinas in the perreo room dancing. And it's like, because exactly that, because it's like music is universal. Like you're gonna feel like you're gonna catch a vibe regardless.
Yeah.
And the best part about it is like the booking of the lineup is one of my favorite things to do. Is to like bring together a bunch of people that you maybe wouldn't normally see, and just to provide opportunities for them to be showcased. And I'm really grateful that like our hair stylist, like she gets like so much business, and she's also working her muscle as a businesswoman, and they're like, oh, this works, this doesn't. And we had someone vend pasties for the first time, and so it's just like it's very cool because like in the same place I'm talking about abundance, I'm like, I know that this domino effect for this person is going to be like hopefully a jumping off point for them. And then we're all just in community, because not only is everyone so talented, it's the fact that we're in community with each other that keeps it amazing. And also like I didn't shout out Strapped. Strapped has been one of like, are you familiar with Strapped?
I don't think so that much.
Yeah, so they were based out of Berlin, and it was started by, her name is Corinne, and she's actually the one that organizes the Super Sapphic event, which is, Super Sapphic is a once-a-year event happening at the Metro. And I just checked in, and we're at 1,200 tickets sold.
When is that event?
That one is the day before Lipstick Lounge, so the 26th, Friday the 26th. Yep.
Good to know.
Yeah.
I think that definitely goes into my next thing with this being Pride Month. There's so much going on in Chicago. What was the calendar that you said, like posted on?
So Cat Savage and Dream Doll, who are the organizers of the Sapphic Strip Club, they have it on their page, and they did honestly their best to just kind of like create and to like include everybody, which is awesome because I feel like sometimes all of us creatives or organizers, we are literally just doing our best to maintain. We're doing our best to like make sure that the venue knows this and this is this. That sometimes like this extra additive work of like, let me promote, let me like keep in touch with everybody else. Like that's something that sometimes slips through our fingers, and so to have someone just kind of dedicate some time for that, it's awesome to know that someone is gonna have your back when like you can't even get to it, So
yeah,
it's very cool. I'm really grateful too that over time like a lot of like the industry sapphics come to Lipstick Lounge. Some women that I have admired for so long, like to see them there, it feels beautiful. I'm just really grateful.
100%.
Yeah.
And I think that's also like a smaller reason of why I'm wanting to do this podcast is somewhat like a sapphic news podcast where I just update people about things that are upcoming in Chicago or just like a little bit of calendar events, just kind of like towards especially the end of the podcast.
Yeah.
And like going into that, I think again, I'm not quite sure when this will be posted, but probably like the last 2 weeks at least of June.
Sure.
So at least I know for the last weekend, like you have the Pride March, that's the 28th, but even before that with the 27th, there, what was the one event that you had said that's happening?
On Friday the 26th, it's Super Sapphic at Metro.
Yeah, 26th.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. And then we're 27th, and then the walk happens 28th.
Yeah. And there's so much happening during that weekend. There's the Dyke March also on the 27th.
Right.
They're having like a large event. Eden is having a garden of event.
Saloon.
The saloon. I think I'm going to that, and then I'll be
cool.
going to yours.
Yeah.
The saloon, I believe, is from 5 or 6 p.m. I think is the start. Maybe even 4.
They're earlier start time,
it's
for sure.
Definitely an earlier start time, going all the way till 1:30.
Hell yeah.
When they initially announced the event, it was just till late, but I think in the past couple of days they said that 1:30 will be the end.
Cool.
So if you want to do that and just run as fast as you can to Lipstick Lounge, that would be a really fun night.
Hell yeah.
I have yet to go to the Sapphic Saloon. I know they had one previously, and like during that, it's very fun because it's like they teach other things. There's a lot of things going. I think this one will have like a bull ride.
Yep.
And like a Western theme, I believe.
Exactly.
Which I'm very excited for, and just like very creative event that a lot of people can go to. So a lot of stuff happening that weekend. If you think there's not much going on, there's stuff everywhere. Like I live in the north kind of uptown area, kind of quartering on Edgewater, if you get an idea. And the Cheetah Gym in Andersonville is also doing a huge, I believe, I forget the name of it, but it's like a queer bash that's happening both days on both the 27th and 28th.
Oh yeah.
And it's a very big event. A lot of people go to it. They have a lot of like music there, and I think people performing as well. So there's a lot of fun things going on that weekend, and I will definitely put like links with both the podcast,
artistry
and the video,
everywhere,
the calendar event, as well as just some of the events that we referenced during this. But thank you so much for this.
Dude, of course.
I could talk to you forever. It's very like easy to, and you're very good at keeping conversation.
Thank you. I love to talk. I love to yap.
It's a great skill.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, if you're listening to this or watching this, definitely come to Lipstick Lounge. It is such an open and great space to go to. And I will see you hopefully on the next episode, everybody.
We'll see you later. Bye.